Bum 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 ba-dum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum
Are
bum
we
bum
live?
bum bum. Bum bum
Because I
bum
am
bum
super
bum.
busy stuffing my craw right now.
Well, anyway,
Well, I guess we're
as
live.
Jerry does that, right?
We're live.
Josh
Oh,
gets a
shit. Hold on.
costume. We're
Hold on.
lagging.
We're live. Matt,
All right,
this is your
welcome.
episode.
I know this is my episode. Why do you think I'm in this
start.
corner?
Start.
Okay, Mister. Well, welcome to BatYard's Finest. Bringing you the latest news in pop culture and anything Superman and Batman. I am being rushed for no reason today, but we're gonna start off with anybody's BS, or if they have a crazy Halloween story from when they're kids or recently.
I'll
Anybody?
let Josh
Anybody?
go because I know he's got something good.
Yeah, the only
Point at
BS
me.
I want to, the only news I got is Henry Cavill is not going to continue on being the Witcher anymore. It's going to be Liam Hemsworth doing season, I think it's 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never really watched The Witcher. So that's what we got to look forward to because he's back as Superman. Hence my costume that costs $2. So that's what we have to look forward to. It's more Superman. Hopefully it'll be good. I was thinking we should do Black Adam at some point. You know, I still haven't seen the movie. I don't know if you guys seen it. If you guys
No,
have
I
any
haven't seen
thoughts
I
it
on
haven't
yet.
that.
seen it yet.
No? Okay. All right, that's all I had. Go ahead, Jerry.
Let's see. Matt, you got anything?
Well, there was actually Josh took one of mine, but I'm just gonna say it. I know I'm gonna get a bad boo out of Josh on this one, but supposedly we got the green light for Venom 3,
No
and there's a
no.
way.
we got the green light for Venom 3. They're doing what's it called? Was it screenwriting right now? And they're trying to find a director because supposedly Andy Serkis has been the director for the first 2, and he's not doing the third one right now because he's doing other shit.
No.
Yes.
Can you hear me? I can't hear anyone.
In the phone, you're staticky as hell.
I think your headphones
actually,
might be messed up, Josh.
or the basement's not doing well.
I can hear you now.
Okay. That was weird.
Oh yeah. I got another thing is how's everyone
just keep
feeling?
talking. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay. I turn on the audio from the video so I can hear you, Josh, because you keep on coming staticky through the headphone. Have you guys heard about the Elon Musk crap that's happening with Twitter more?
I've heard that he
That's another thing.
fired the whole founding staff, but that was it.
Yeah, he's taking this to another level with Twitter. Twitter is getting all kinds of shit. It's like getting wiped clean to start anew. Oh god, why is Joey?
What?
Yeah, it's like he's washing it clean in a way. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, this is
Can you hear
getting
me?
crazy. I can hear you now. Well, no, I only can hear you through my headphone from the computer, not the actual headphone. Going back to Jerry and no, I ended Jerry's. I don't know how to do this anymore. All right. Oh, jeez. Technical difficulties still happening, folks. But still, Jerry, if you can hear me in a way. No. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, hello?
Hello.
Hello. All right, we're gonna get Josh. Try to get Josh. anywho, with Jerry, I was telling you that what's Elon Musk is like, yeah, he's kind of like wiping everything clean. Oh, I'm about to call you again. And he's like wiping everything clean and like automated voice messaging system. OV1. Okay. Josh is having a lot of issues right now with this. So yeah, he's like what's it called? He's like he's wiping everything clean and he's like raising prices on the people that have the blue checks. So you have to pay like about like 20 to something 20 to like maybe like $30 a month for the blue check. And it's gonna cost you about $240 a year to keep the
What?
blue check because he wants to make things actually right or something. I don't know how. I need to look into more of the blue check thing, but yeah, he's doing that, and like what you said, the CEO thing, he's like he just got rid of everybody. He's like the only person in charge right now of Twitter
That
until he brings in more people of his own like for his own table.
See, I knew this was gonna happen. Everyone, please excuse me as I eat dinner right now. It was a very busy day today.
All right, I kind of screwed that one up because I kind of added Josh for no reason with his voicemail. Oh god, this is like phone tag. It's just horrible.
Well, now I can hear
Hello,
you.
there you are. I've been trying to call you. All right, and
Is Jerry here?
No, you only added me, so I'm adding Jerry.
Are we all
Okay.
here?
Are we all here now?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
didn't listen to anything you guys said for the past couple minutes.
It was back and forth banter of me saying, because
So,
I'm
so
trying
you
to.
didn't keep the show going? You're supposed to keep it going.
I did keep it going with me and Jerry, but I was trying to figure out how to add you to this phone call that you keep getting.
All right, let's
Cannot
just move
answer.
past this. Let's just move past this. Keep going.
Yeah, but my segment's done already. So you got anything else?
Oh, that was a great story, man. I'm glad I heard that whole thing.
I know you missed the Elon Musk
I feel
stuff.
exactly the same. You know, like I had this one Halloween experience this year where I went to a haunted house. Matt and I did Jurassic Park this year. That was fun. It was do a whole ensemble for a whole cast of characters.
Yes, it
you know?
was.
That was cool. I never done that before. I never had like a whole group of people.
I'm surprised we had that many people actually.
That was
Yeah.
cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm jealous I wasn't there.
I know. We wanted you to be there, man. I know it's tough.
We need to develop transportating like a
We're
portal.
gonna get you somewhere. Maybe we'll meet up at a Comic-Con or something.
It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna make it happen.
We'll do something special. I don't know yet. Something.
We'll go camping.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Go camping. Winter camping? No, just joking.
Let's see. I don't have any BS, so I'll just tell a random fact about me for Halloween. So when I was a kid, my mom claims I was an unusual child because I never wanted to go trick-or-treating. And the second that it got dark, I was telling my mom, like, okay, it's time to go home. We're done.
Wait, hold on. Once it got dark, it just says game over.
That was it, basically, in my little mind.
Why didn't you want to go trick or treating? Like, what was the reasoning? You just didn't like the dark?
Said,
or was it...
She just said that was your personality. She said,
"Oh man,
I had to make y'all dress up. You didn't want to dress up."
Oh God,
that was the complete opposite. I would stay out as long as I could, fill up a whole pillowcase of
Josh
candy.
has plans. Josh,
I would be sprinting
plans.
to houses. I would sprint. It was
Like,
funner.
I've went trick or treating with Josh twice. And one time we did superheroes. We did superhero one year. I was the Hulk. Josh was Superman. Alex was the Flash. Henry was Spider-Man, and Nick was Wolverine. And Josh would sprint the houses as we're walking to them, and they'd be like, if we make it to a house, it's like leaves like the bowl out there that says please take one, but there's no one else serving the candy. Josh would already have that in his bag and probably leave us like
Yeah, I was that
here and there
asshole kid.
candies. He'll leave us here and there candies that he didn't want, but it felt
Like-
right for us to take because we didn't get anything from the house.
Like Three Musketeers, they suck. I always left those.
I don't like Three Musketeers myself.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone does. Do you, Matt?
It's like here and there, depending on if I want to hurt myself. But then another time is actually going trick or treating with Josh is his development. He had a fucking plan. It's like he had a map set up and everything,
Yeah,
and he would
mapped it.
just go. He would
That's
just go
pretty
like this house,
strategic.
that house, this house, this house, this house. Where's your big freaking pillow bag? Where's your big pillowcase? Where is it? That's not big enough. You need one this long. It's like a 3-foot long pillowcase.
Yeah, Matt brought like one of those shitty pumpkin head
No, I did
baskets
not bring one of those.
that was like this
I
big. I'm like,
brought
you're
a
gonna fit 2
standard
pieces
bag.
of candy in there. What the hell are you doing?
I brought like a standard bag, and Josh was like, I'm experienced, master level, 22 perks unlocked.
Yeah,
That's
would have my-
hilarious.
I would have my candy until like Easter. Like I had it for
Dude,
so
yeah.
long.
We went over his house one time. We thought he ran out of candy, and then we just looked over. We thought this was like a crappy little beanbag thing they had in his corner, but it was his bag of candy from Halloween. That's how big it was.
Josh had a grand scheme and it worked.
Yeah.
He has a grand scheme every year when he did it. Oh
Exactly.
god.
It's funny you guys mentioned candy. What is your favorite Halloween candy? And what's your most
Ooh.
hated Halloween candy?
Well, I already said Three Musketeers is like
This is
one of my
hated.
least favorites. I would say like Sour Patch Kids and like Blow Pops, like the green Blow Pops. Those were good ones. Like sour stuff. I like sour candy.
Okay. What about you, Crispy?
I don't know. I love dots. I like dots a lot. If I
You
get
like
like
dots?
I love dots. If I would say the worst, the one I hate the most, God, I'm like, God, I'm in the I'm between the what was it, Whoppers or Whoopers, what the fuck they're called?
yeah, they
and Almond
suck.
Joys. They're both my like the worst things. I hate
Oh yeah, the
coconut.
malt balls.
Yeah, I hate them. They're just like, ugh. They have
Yeah,
a
they
weird
suck.
aftertaste, and they're both a tie for me. Those two, I cannot. I usually just give those to my mom or my dad or something. One of the two that wants them.
Give the stick candy to your
I can
parents.
see this. I can see you. Dad, this candy sucks, and you just throw it at him.
I think no, I don't throw it at him. I'll just leave it there for him. I think he actually ate the almond. I think my dad's actually an Almond Joy fan, so he would take
Ugh.
my Almond Joys.
Almond Joy is disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
What was this Jimmy say? That pillow had
let's see.
another
I guess
destiny.
my favorite is either Hershey's or Reese's when they started.
Oh, those are good.
When they started putting those in,
Yeah, those are
and
good
sweet
choices.
tarts and candy corn, least favorite. I remember getting sweet tarts and candy corn one year, and I tried it. The candy corn was just so waxy. It felt like I was licking a candle.
Okay, they didn't
And
give
the
you the right
sa-
candy.
Oh,
corn.
and
and
those
the sweet
peanuts
tart.
suck too.
Oh,
Which ones?
Those like grandma peanuts that no one likes.
yes.
Almond Joy. Oh. Okay.
No, Sour Patch are good.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids are good. Like, they're not my favorite candy, but I won't like turn them down.
Yeah.
Okay. The only Sour Patch Kids I hated was do you guys remember Blockbuster and how they had like the candy setups?
I've never
For
been
you?
to a Blockbuster.
Yo, oh no. Well, we have to go find the last one so you can go. Yes, Jimmy, those. No, those malts. I thought you said those mats or whatever. No, it's like was it the Sour Patch Kids in this like container from Blockbuster were like you were talking about the waxiness. It would be a waxy, sour tasting candy that you just keep chewing it and you're like, yeah, okay, this is not good anymore.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That makes me think back to that disgusting candy. I hate you for that, Matt.
Sorry. You brought me to that freaking that candy. Anybody else have anything for BSBS?
I'm trying to think if I have any other interesting Halloween stuff.
If I do anything like I'm bringing up like old stories we already talked about before.
I like candles.
What?
Oh my god.
Jimmy.
Oh, I remember. It was one Halloween. I was with some group of friends and we were going to this party. We get there and everybody is just like it was a rave that we said was at somebody's, like family was throwing a party. We get there and everybody is just plastered. Like they're just tripping fucking balls. That was another interesting Halloween.
Oh, I ever been to a Halloween party like that? No, actually, no Albany stuff. We went to Albany parties. Oh my god. I remember it's so stupid, but it's like it's so stupid. It was like it's not like something amazing. It's one of these these Albany parties that one like Josh's like main friend groups in like Albany would do. And I remember one time just getting super drunk and we had this out of nowhere we walked it was like I forget who I think it was maybe
Everett?
me and Dan. No, not Everett. Everett was in the gorilla costume this year. And I think it was me and Dan that year, and we end up stumbling into a. This man is like 6 foot, like 5'7", and he's in like a large size freaking. He's in a Spiderman outfit that didn't fit him, and he was a fucking hulking mass of a person. And he was just running around at this party like an idiot, and we're just like, did we just see hulking Spider-Man? And then we're just like, we did, and he ended up just hanging out with us the rest of the night at this little fire pit they had, and he was just chilling there. Then after a bit, he just disappeared. But he said, "Fuck this! I'm done with this party," and then he ran away.
I don't
It's
even
so
remember him.
stupid. God, it was weird. It was a weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I guess I have one story. I took my nephew to a haunted house thing, and he was pretty young. It was like a couple years ago. It was like his first time going. He might have been 7, and he was so scared that he was like petrified to even make a sound. Like he couldn't even talk, and he was holding my hand the whole time. And then they like grabbed him. They did this one sketch thing where they're asking each contestant, like each member, like going through the group, like, oh, do you have a heart of gold? They're looking for a heart of gold to like cut it out of their chest or something. And then my nephew, they asked him, like, do you have a heart of gold, little boy? And he's like, yes, like he didn't know what to say. And so they grabbed him and then they put him in this box.
Yes.
Like they contained him in this box. He's like freaking the fuck out. And then like they're telling the whole group, like, oh yeah, now go leave, and go to the next attraction. I'm like, well, I'm kind of like in charge of this kid. And they're like, no, you go too. I'm like, what?
Yes.
And then I walk out, like in the hallway. Like I'm just like standing by the door, you know, like waiting for him. And then they just like bang on the side of the box, like get out, and then he like sprinted out crying.
Yes, I remember this.
He was
I
crying.
remember this.
And yeah, Matt was there too, and I was
Oh
like,
my
Mason,
God.
you did a good job. You did a good job. And you're fine. And then like immediately after, like it didn't even take him too long. Like he stopped crying, and then we got to a part where like Jason or Leatherface or someone
Yeah.
was like had a chainsaw, and then he looked up at me like basically looking at me like asking for permission to run away. I'm like, yes, Mason. Now you can run. You could go now. Like it's okay.
I know I
remember-
shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, but that's so funny. I can
God,
imagine
no,
all of that.
It was pretty funny. It was good. He
God,
needed it.
I remember us telling him after he calmed down from like he crying from that, we said next time when someone asks you a question, say no.
Yeah, exactly. If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. That's what we told him.
We told him no.
Oh my God.
But if you have a heart of gold, say no.
Yeah. God. All right. Anybody else got any BS?
No, I'm
No.
done.
I'm done.
All right.
I could actually hear you guys. I missed like all your stories, so I'll have to watch the episode.
Or
Oh,
you can
no.
listen to it as we're joining Spotify and Apple Music and other
Yes, we
podcasting platforms.
That's very true. Yeah, we're getting all our podcasts on audio. It's this is where you get the newer episodes, and then we're gonna put them all on the streaming platforms, so you could listen to it like when you're at work or something. If you don't want to watch our beautiful faces, you know, maybe I should wear this mask for every episode. What do you guys think?
Say yes and say no later. Okay.
So yeah, Matt, this is your episode, so take it away.
Yeah. So we don't have any more BS. So we're gonna jump into the segments that we have for tonight. We have for the short is Spider-Man, the 1994 cartoon, the Night of the Lizard, and for the main event is Crawl. So we're going to go with the short here, the Spider-Man 1994 cartoon, Night of the Lizard. Josh, take it away.
Okay, I'm kind of glad I'm picked for this one. So a giant lizard has been spotted in New York City. Basically, J. Jonah Jameson is offering $1,000 to a photographer who gets the creature on film, I guess gets a picture of the creature. Peter turns out he's trying to pursue the lizard because he wants money to buy a new vehicle, and then it ends up that his Aunt May is getting all these bills and notices like she's going to get evicted because she's not paying. So he's like, "Oh well, I'll do it for Aunt May because I love her and she's like a mom." And he finds out who the lizard really is one of his professors, Kurt Connors. And yeah, it just kind of pursues it that way. The one thing about this episode, I think that about this series in general, I think he's like Peter Parker narrates like way too much, and it's kind of fucking annoying. Like he like says like every emotion he has, like every thought, he's like, yeah, and Aunt May, she's like doing really bad, and she's like my mom, and like I could really help her, and blah blah blah. Like he just like won't shut up. It's like his inner monologue is so fucking annoying. Like I just want him to stop talking. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but he is really annoying.
Oh my God. I needed that laugh.
Like I can take it or leave it. It
It's
depends on like
bad.
how much he does it. But like I can take it or leave it with that.
Oh God.
So
I mean,
have you guys ever seen this episode before?
yes, I've watched this series in its entirety.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first watched this, I didn't catch on to his name being Kurt Connor. I always thought it was Bert Connor. So
Okay.
listening now, I'm like, oh, it's Kurt, not Bert.
Yeah, it's Kurt Connors. What did you think it was?
I thought it was
Bert.
Bert, B-U-R-T,
Bert.
like Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess that makes sense. I don't know, but I do agree with Josh. I'm like, oh my god, Peter, shut up.
He is really
Stop being
annoying.
such a little. Look, I get it. You know, you're a young adult. You're hard on your luck right now. You have to work for James Jonah Jameson, the best Marvel villain ever created, and your Aunt May is 2 G's in the hole because she died. She didn't leave a plan of action for when times get hard.
No,
I'm still eating.
definitely
Okay.
not. I don't know, Matt. What do you think of this series? Like, do you think Peter's annoying?
Like I said, I can take it here and there, depending on like how much of the episode he starts doing the freaking monologue to himself. I remember watching this when I was little, and I didn't really care. I never really said, "Oh, he's pissing me off." I'm just watching Spider-Man and having my fun. And including, I never knew this episode was the first episode
Yeah.
because it was always been like jumbled around. So with like when we were watching it, so I was like, "Oh, okay." I think this is whatever episode, and I saw on the when I was looking for it, it's like number one. I'm like, wow, they introduced him so early. And Steve, can you leave your balls out of the comments? So
Just keep going. Just ignore that.
uh,
Why'd you
I'm
stop like in the
trying.
middle of what you're saying?
I finished what I was saying. I
Oh.
was commenting to the cat. I'm interacting with our people here. Like,
Oh
what the
my
hell?
God.
We never interact with the people. Matt, stop.
Because it's nonsense. That's why. Only interact when it's something real. Don't even mention anything like that.
Well,
Anyway,
they were interacting with us actually beforehand. You weren't reading.
yeah, I think the show's like okay. You know, I think it doesn't hold a candle to Batman animated series. I think the
No,
animation's
definitely
good.
not.
Like a Batman animated series is like dark and gritty and like it's adult. Like this is like obviously like super kid friendly. It's pretty accurate to the
Mm-hmm.
comic books, but like I don't know. There's something off about like how everyone acts. Like Peter is like way too like chipper and like, oh, Aunt May, blah 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 blah, and like talking to himself, and then like,
It's like he's out of Leave
gosh.
It to Beaver and Andy Griffith.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like Leave It to Beaver Spider-Man is like, oh my gosh, Peter, shut up.
Well,
I don't care about your monologues.
it's like kind of like like he kind of gets more depressed as we get further onwards when it loses like Mary J. Then we get
Oh
like a
my
weird
god.
error of
You
shit.
mean Gwen Stacy?
No, we get Mary J. Gets fucking what's it called? Like, doesn't she like? I believe she dies just because of that water fucking thing, and he keeps fucking dying and shit.
Yep.
And he's just
I
like
don't remember.
depressed and shit.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
that's
it.
so further. That's like further on.
Why do you say Mary J and not Mary Jane?
Mary Jane. I don't know.
I'm like, who says Mary J? I never heard her called that before.
I thought he was saying Mr. J at first.
No, my
Yeah,
bad.
Mary J. I never heard that. I guess you're not wrong, but like,
No, but
oh,
One thing I know that I liked about this was how whenever he's web slinging and he goes from, the hand drawn cartoon to
oh
like
god,
into a CGI construct.
oh
yes.
yeah, especially with like the city streets and all that.
Mm-hmm. I always thought that was so cool how they did that. Even now, I still think, man, I bet for them to do that, they had to pull a whole lot of strings
It's
because
definitely
I
like
know
an
that was not
interesting.
cheap.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting look. Like you could tell, like they're just playing around with like the inner workings of hand drawn animation melded into the like a CGI world. You know, at the same time, like
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of like melding the two art forms together, and I think it does work. Like you could tell, like Jerry was saying, it's two different mediums, but it does work for the style and what they're going for. And I like this is Spider-Man. Like even though this cartoon's like cheesy as hell, like this is the Spider-Man I kind of like started out with at least. So I don't hate it. You know, it's a good show. Like it's like something I would put on in the background and kind of casually watch. You know,
Mhm.
but it's not like oh I need to watch this Blizzard episode and no, like it's no Batman animated series. You know, it's not anywhere close to that. So like if I was gonna pick like between the two, obviously I would pick Batman because there's a lot more going on. It's a lot more adult.
Yeah. But one thing I do remember liking about this series is how well, not all the stories they told were really well put together, but how they weren't afraid to bring in a lot of villains and keep them around.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they brought
Mhm.
in Craven, Rhino, Shocker,
Like Tombstone,
uh,
like even
like
some
they
of the
brought in
bigger
so
ones.
many.
Yeah,
Yep. Even villains from other franchises too.
Yeah.
They actually brought in.
like who?
I believe they
Magneto or
brought in
Um,
something?
Juggernaut.
Huh?
Juggernaut came into it. They have a
yeah,
few other. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
it's been
that's
a
cool.
lot of
Been a
people.
That
while.
is cool. This did like yeah, you got to give it that. Like it did make this Spider-Man show made the Marvel universe seem pretty big. Like it did incorporate like the other heroes and the other characters, and like
Mhm.
basically all of Spider-Man's rogues gallery is in the show. Like he did have a lot of enemies in the course of the show. Like they did kind of hit like every comic book, like major comic book issue at that
Hmm.
point, like in this show. So you do got to commend it for that. Like, yeah, I guess that's the one thing it has over Batman the animated series. Like, it just had more of the villains, you know. Um. So yeah, that's cool.
Uh, so I want to bring up another thing. One thing in the episode though. So with the lizard, get when you're getting we're getting to like the end here when the lizard's holding the fucking laser beam thing that would like change your DNA to the lizard DNA setup. When Dr. Connor's like wife picks up this tech giant laser beam, how did you guys feel with that thing? Because it felt like it was just like a toy when she picked it up,
Yeah.
and then when it gets
I'm
tossed
like, there's
away,
no
it's like a
way
Man
this
of
landed
petite
like
plastic.
heavy
woman
as hell.
is able to pick up this big, heavy gun.
Yeah, I almost like I almost forgot about that.
I
I was
forgot
like,
about it because it made no sense. I'm like, she obviously might do Pilates at best, and that gun looks like it weigh at least 85 pounds, and she's not doing that.
it looked like a minigun setup. That's what it was. And then I
Just
get it with
about.
Spider Man. What?
No,
Mhm.
just about. I was agreeing with you.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like I get it with Spider Man. Him like holding on to it. Even Spider Man had difficulty kind of like holding on to it and carrying it around. So I'm just like, Dr. Connor's wife has a secret identity of a strong woman or something now.
she
Maybe
definitely
she's
has
a lizard.
extracurriculars.
She's another lizard. She has lizard
No.
strength.
Oh
That's what
God.
he's trying to
Don't
do. He's
say.
trying to create lizard people because
Yeah, he is, but that's like
they're the
later
superior
down the
race, I
series
guess.
also because he ends up getting his lizard society anyway
He's
down the road in the
he's
show.
very similar to Man Bat. Like Man Bat is like
Yeah,
another like scientist who basically
Hmm.
turns himself into a bat accidentally, and then he says, "Oh, the man bat people are the superior race." Like it's like almost like a similar concept as the
I
lizard.
was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this definitely feels like Man Bat, just in the form of a reptile.
Yeah, you know, and Man Bat was the first episode of Batman the animated series too, which is funny.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah, we did a podcast on that too. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Hmm.
Huh.
This seems very spooky, if you
Similarities.
will.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying
Now,
to see.
But
one thing that just annoyed the hell out of me, why does every guy look like a fucking beefcake? Like he goes to the gym
Yeah.
6 times a day for just hours on end. Like Peter
I don't.
Parker, I could give it to him. Like, maybe he picked up, like lacrosse or rugby or something. But James Jonah Jameson still looks like he's going to fucking bodybuilding shows. And
Yeah,
that made me
no, all of them
uncomfortable.
do. Yeah,
And then their
Yeah.
fingers are like fucking Polish sausages.
I think they even like made Peter Parker like way too good looking, even though it's like after he got bitten by the spider, he's still like, chiseled
Yeah.
jaw, like superhero,
Mm.
like
He's got
that's
the
not like who Peter
all-American Boy
Parker is.
Scout hair.
Yeah, like he almost looks more like I don't know, like Captain America than Spider-Man.
He does.
He has those like attributes to him, like those physicalities that like, scream like masculine man. But like, Spider-Man's supposed to be like kind of like a meek guy who accidentally gets powers. So like he's supposed to look kind of like, a nerd who kind of got muscles, but he just looks like he looks like Flash Gordon. That's what he looks like.
He does.
True.
He does look like Flash Gordon.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like it's like the design is good, but it's not like Peter Parker, at least to me.
I definitely like how they have his personality set up outside of, like a few interactions he might have with some of his friends, because I feel like that's very true to the Peter Parker we all know from the comics and movies. But his Spider-Man, I'm like, okay, I know you're a critical thinker, but how much talking to yourself are you going to do? Like go with the flow of the battle and just wing it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like when he was fighting Doc Connors for the laser, he was worried like, oh man, he's as strong as two of me, and he's a lizard, and all this other crazy crap. I'm like, dude, you're Spider-Man. Use what you have. Just because he has a tail doesn't mean he's gonna win.
True. He could actually web down the tail and then did something crazy to get rid of him or some shit. But one thing that annoyed the shit out of me, kind of like, he almost gave up his identity in like this first episode with that one scientist buddy of his when they were like trying to go find Dr. Connors.
Yeah,
and like the lizard, he's like, "Oh, my senses." Then he's like grabs her and I was like, "How'd you know?" I had a feeling, and like. What?
That doesn't make sense, my dude.
Yeah. He reacted too quickly and like just jumped to like the event. Like, I think he should just let it go, like play with it, make it do a safer, like go with it, have a plan with it, but at the same time, don't give yourself away.
No, that would be smart, but he's not smart.
Because wasn't the first episode of the 1960 Spider-Man the same way, where he almost reveals his identity?
I haven't seen that in forever, Jerry. You're asking me for a lot here.
Wait, like, does he almost reveal it in the 60s show, the one we watched?
I think he did.
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I don't remember him giving it up. And I was thinking of another 60s show.
Later episode, but like, at least
it might be a later episode. I'm thinking.
Yeah, the one we watched, like in the pilot, like there was.
It was straightforward.
Yeah, it was
like him.
It was
kind of just
like
him
super
being
accurate to the comic, actually.
Like the only part, like it was like weird for Spider-Man is like when he was like, just being a dick, like, yeah, not my problem, man, like that shit.
Yeah, but that's all part of the story.
Yeah,
that's I'm surprised they didn't do that in this show. Like the whole great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben dies. Maybe it was too dark for this series. Or like Fox.
I mean, they do
no, you can't show that. Do they?
We do.
Who died? Mary Jane died. I think at one point Aunt May was like really, really like sick.
Yeah, she's like,
or she's
on the verge. When we get when we get the when we meet what's his name, the vampire guy,
Morbius.
Morbius, he fucking kills a couple here and there people because he goes out gets out of control.
I know when
I
Blade came
remember
in, he was like actively trying to kill people.
Blade came in. He did come in.
Yeah,
He
Blade
did
came in.
because he showed up for Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we get to see the what's his name, the hunter guy, he
Craven.
Craven?
does like yeah, he does some decent damage to people. Even every villain at least does something fucked up,
I don't
hands
know.
down.
I
Till
haven't
we
really
get to a
seen too
darker
much of this
situation.
show. I seen the Hobgoblin episode because, I guess Mark Hamill does the Hobgoblin, and then where he fights Daredevil. I remember that was coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, he fights Daredevil. This is gonna be so cool. And then they fight for like literally like 2 seconds, and then they team up. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is fucking false
I
advertising.
remember the episode
They had
where
20
Felicia
minutes.
Hardy became Black Cat because that was something spicy right there.
Oh man,
Yes. Yep. That was a game
spicy
changer.
meatball.
I'm not gonna lie. Um, Jeez, the one thing that okay, so jumping off this episode just into the series, the one thing that annoyed me throughout the whole series was the Osborns, like their hair fucking do pissed me the
Yes.
fuck off
Yes. It
because
always
it was just
changed.
like a standard. It was a
Hmm.
standard. It was weird. It would yes, it did change, but it was always the pattern of the fucking hair
Yes.
too. It was weird because they have like a
They'd have
standard crew cut styled
like a bowl
hair.
cut.
Yeah, it would be like that kind of thing. Like it was like glued to their fucking head, but they have lines in their hair. Sometimes it'd be circle, like spiral, like a circle around their head, or it'd be checkers and like something else. It'd be like, what the fuck kind of hair is this? I want to know who has this fucking hair.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh my god.
I don't
That
really
was
have.
my one pet peeve of it, of like their stupid characters.
I like how they show Eddie Brock like being a dick in this episode. Like I like how they establish him before he's like Venom. I thought that was pretty
Hmm.
cool. Like showing
Hmm.
that he's like a rival and he'll do
He's
anything for his photograph or the story or whatever. Like he
knowing
doesn't
Eddie
care.
Brock in this, yeah, knowing Eddie Brock in the series, he's like always been the dick until
Yeah. Until
we
he
get
got
to the
Venom.
Venom stuff, and then he gets become super dick.
Yeah, you gotta go get him.
No, we're not doing that today. Okay, I think we've
Yeah,
done
I
it
don't,
like a lot with this. What do you guys like? Ratings and last thoughts with this.
If Josh doesn't want to go first, I will.
Really? You're going, Jerry. It looks
yeah,
like.
go ahead.
So, one thing that I never ever paid attention to was the fact that Spider-Man mentions other superhero groups, like,
Oh yeah.
and the ones
Oh
based in New
yes.
York specifically.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I thought that I'm like, hold on, the Defenders are in Hell's Kitchen, the Avengers are in like the heart of New York City, and
Hmm.
Fantastic Four is also somewhere in the Manhattan area.
Hmm.
He
And I'm
even
just
mentions
like,
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, I'm like, he even mentions the Guardians. I'm like, what is?
Oh, he did in this
Yeah, he
Yeah,
episode.
said
he's
I
like,
wanted
Oh
to.
I
wow.
wish I
Oh,
can.
I couldn't. I wish I was one of those galaxy hopping heroes.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's just. I'm like, at that point, I didn't know what any of those people were, except for, of course, Fantastic
Mhm.
Four and the Avengers. But I didn't know
Mhm.
Defenders. I knew a little bit about Hulk from the cartoon back then. But Guardians and Defenders, I'm like, Defenders? You talking about football, bro?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a thing called the Defenders. Guardians to me were like when they dropped the Guardians movies. That's when I started hearing about them more,
Yeah.
and I
I
thought they
think
were
that's
more brand
everyone.
new.
Yeah.
I thought they were more brand new than anything else. Like I thought they came out probably in like the early 2000s, but they go back even further. So I'm like, okay,
Oh, as far as a rating, I'm I'm not as in love with it as I was when I was a kid because now I'm like, man, inner monologue kind of drives me crazy,
Yeah.
especially when it's so prominent.
And it's like super
But it's,
obvious stuff. Like the audience could pick up on. Like, yeah, we get it, Peter. Just shut up. Like,
and it's not that I dislike it because that is some people talk to themselves a lot. So I'm like, okay, maybe this was like a very self conscious Peter who wanted to internalize everything else happening on the outside, and I think it's pretty solid. I'm gonna leave it with a very smooth, very appropriate 7, maybe 7.5. I definitely rewatched the series
Okay.
again because there's some episodes I remember bits and pieces of, like with Madam Web, and I want to remember what happened with that.
The Madam Web stuff was kind of neat. They had a good time. She
yeah.
lasted for a really long time in that show too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Madam
She
Web
wasn't
was
just like
played in
nothing.
this. Madam Web was played by Stan Lee's wife in this show too, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I forget. I think it's Joan Lee. I could be wrong. What? But yeah, it was Stan Lee's wife, which is cool.
It is cool.
I think this show it's good. Like the animation's pretty cool. It's pretty top notch. I don't know. I like it. I almost like it more as like a show I would watch in the background than me really like actually paying attention and watching it. I'd probably give this show like this episode at least a 5.5. I almost picked this episode for the Far From Home episode that we're gonna do, but instead I was like, oh, let's do the 60s one because to be honest, I like that one better than this. It's definitely cheesier, but it's like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot, at least for me, to get out of the 60s one, even though it's a little crappier. I think it's whatever you kind of prefer. But the 60s one
Mm-hmm.
is like straight out of the comic books that were coming out at the time. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's where I feel about that.
Do you
Okay.
hate this
For
version, Josh?
me,
I'm just curious.
No, I don't hate this version. I always thought it was even cheesy when I was a kid. Like there was one Madam Web episode. I think it's like when she's first introduced, and like there's some stupid little girl that's in it, and like he just straight up tells her that he's Spider-Man at one point, and it's like so cheesy. I'm like, why are you telling this kid? Like now she's gonna die.
oh,
It's like so
oh
Oh,
God,
dumb.
that
the
episode,
episode with the
really, that
terminally ill
episode,
kid.
yes,
Yes, it was bad. I
that is
hated
the
it.
meme of the century now. Like
It's
everywhere we
so
go,
bad.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I even
Mm-hmm.
thought like when I was a kid, this show was super cheese. So
I was just wondering because
oh
I'm like,
God.
I know some people have their likes and dislikes with 90s cartoons.
no, I don't hate it. It's like I think, like I said, it just doesn't hold a caliber to other superhero shows that were out at the time. Like they were a lot better.
Mm.
What about you, Crispy?
For me, I'm gonna definitely go with like the thing is I enjoy the lizard as one of his like villains. He's like one of my favorites,
Yeah, he's
and
cool.
he kind of ties in with like what's the name like main event that we're like the main thing we're gonna be talking about. But like it's like kind of neat like his character development later down the road with a more things. Like I mentioned, there was an episode where he finds that lizard society that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and he has like he ends up like trying to convince him like all this stuff is bad, but at the same time he's like relapsing and like let's make society lizards again, crap
Yeah,
and all that stuff. And like he's a constant he kind of comes back in here and there to help out Peter in both forms. So it's kind
Yes.
of neat. And me like I haven't seen this episode in a long time and I enjoy it. I like his design in this because of his like
I like when he has a snout. I don't like the
the
flat
snout
thing.
is
Yeah.
the best look.
Yeah,
I like that
For
with
me, it's
all
the
lizard
eyes. I
creatures.
like
yeah,
how the
I like
eyes
the
are.
eyes too.
It's obviously red is not a normal color for croc eyes, but I like
Hmm.
just how significant that is.
Yeah,
Because it
they're very
reminds me of the
vibrant.
Yeah.
Thundercats. Because that's
The
red and black
Thundercats.
is a very piercing image, depending on what you put it on.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, they're really meaning like he is a animal. He's not human.
Mm-hmm. Like that's the same. I like that too. But like that's what I like about a lot of like lizard. Like that's one thing. Like Josh mentioned, like with the snout, I miss that with a lot of characters, and that are lizard based that we've seen even on DC or more Marvel side too, or anywhere else. They don't do this like the lizard thing. They do that like they do the hybrid human face with the lizardish body and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm like, we can do the both mixture things, but it doesn't look right. It looks wrong. And the snout puts it together. And
No,
that's what a lot of it's
I
missing.
agree with
Like
that. I
they
think the original look
Yeah.
for the lizard, he didn't have a snout. It was just like a round
no, it was
head.
just a flat yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that kind of annoyed me because I knew the snout the most. And when I saw when they did that amazing Spider-Man movie, and that pissed me off. I'm
Yeah.
like, where's his snout? Why does he look like he looks horrible? All
Mm-hmm.
this other stuff. And
Yeah. I
like I was
like the
hoping when they
disheveled
did,
like lab coat look too, like where it's all ripped up and he's
yeah,
still a lizard.
It's
Like
like
in that
all
one he's
Dr.
just
Jekyll,
naked.
Mr. Hyde.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yes.
100%.
And then we had like him come back in like the No Way Home, and I was hoping to have them do maybe a remodel like they did with Jamie Foxx, how he wasn't blue anymore, and like they
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, right.
God.
redesigned the Green Goblin a little bit, but it's still the same Goblin, but like he just had different like costume detail changes. I was hoping they did like a change up on him, but no, I was like hoping he maybe progress more like forward, but we ended up finding out was like the moments in time where they die. So I'm like, oh, but Dr. Connors didn't die in that movie, so I wish they kind of like progressed him forward, like his disease. They cured him. They all right, fuck it. I'm getting tired of it. Well, I'm getting tired trying to fight for that one, but I can't. It sucked. But it had the same concept of him trying to change the whole New York City into lizard people also. But to me with this episode, I'm gonna go with like Jerry with like a 7 with this. Because I do enjoy this episode. It has one of my favorite characters in it. And I had like it's one of my favorite series back when I was a kid to watch. So I give it a decent 7.
I just wanted to read Big Booty's comment.
Go for
Is
it.
this the one where Mary Jane jumps off the roof because she wants to see if Peter truly loves her?
No, that's later.
No, that's
That's
a
later down
different
the
one.
road.
I
Well,
just
no,
seen
that's
that
further
clip and it's
down.
so
This is
dumb.
the same one, just further
That's
down this.
It's
the
just yeah,
episode.
same
Yeah.
series, same
Same
series.
series is further down the tube.
Yeah, I seen
God,
that
that was
clip
so
and it was so
stupid.
yeah. It was like, what are you doing? What is this show? See, it's crap like that where I'm like, this show is so stupid.
All they were
Oh my
missing
god.
was to
I
have a random, just other superhero come through and be like, "Oh, who are you? I don't know. I got lost."
yeah.
And then boom, Spider-Man has competition for Mary Jane.
Yeah, have freaking Superman fly and catch Mary Jane. Like, you're not even supposed
Oh.
to be here. there's
I
a
would went I would gone with like Daredevil accidentally catches her or something else, but
there's a comic books.
okay.
There's the first DC Marvel crossover with Superman versus Spider-Man, and like I know Lois Lane and Mary Jane have a tiff at one point, and it's definitely interesting. I definitely want to read it sometime. I would probably recommend it to podcast at some point. I found it online, so we could find it for free. Like an actual
Nice.
issue is like stupid expensive, but there's scans
Oh
of it, which is
god.
good.
Thank God
Um,
for scans.
yeah, so
True.
I haven't read it yet, but I definitely want to. It's like always been one that's like on top of my list of like comic books to read. So I thought it was pretty cool. And like Stan Lee and the writers of DC, like they both co-wrote it, so it's pretty cool. Like 70s, from the 70s, like so definitely classic
All
stuff.
right. So that's not a bad error.
No.
That was kind of like Spider-Man's Spider-Man. Oh, was it Spider and Friends or Spider-Man Friends?
Yes.
Spider-Man and
Series
his
was going
amazing
on.
friends, I think.
Amazing
Yeah.
for yes.
I
Where they had
remember
the
that.
Phoenix, Iceman, and
And somebody
Spider-Man, and I
else.
think one more. Yeah, I think there's one
Yeah.
more.
Some fire
Whatever.
guy.
They sure did have
Maybe the
Iceman and
Human
Phoenix in that.
Torch?
Golly.
I don't know.
Well, Phoenix wasn't a crazy person at that time.
Yeah,
She was
they
cool.
definitely made Phoenix extremely like general audience
Dark.
friendly.
Nah.
Yeah, for that one. They were like clean and later around around that universe is like a dark universe for her.
So
What up?
wait, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say we're gonna jump into the main event, like main show
yeah.
now.
Okay.
So, but do you have something to say?
no.
Okay.
I was going to
So,
suggest that.
Jerry, take it away. Or Crawl, the main event here.
Okay. I just want to start off by saying this movie is not what I thought it was in a very good way.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave a very negative review.
Oh, good.
So this is 2019, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The 2019 film Crawl. It is about this young woman named Haley who is looking for her father in Florida, where there's a Category 5 hurricane that's just coming through, barreling, and everybody's on strict evacuation orders. And as we all in the real world know, Floridians, they are on their own time and don't care about their safety or the world. And so, she begins looking for her father in a very big frenzy because the storm is approaching more rapidly than what she was expecting. And she keeps finding signs that he was here at home, but, she just can't put together where he is. And so she has their dog Sugar, and Sugar leads Haley to the basement where she starts finding more tools and blood and stuff, like her father might have been attacked or he might have got hurt and just passed out. So she finds her dad and sees that he's injured but doesn't know what caused it and starts to try to resuscitate him. And then she finds a set of alligators, very big alligators at that managed to get into the crawl space from the drain pipe. There is a very big escape process to this whole situation because now their house is flooding, the hurricane's here. They are both critically injured, but are managed to get away decently. I'm not going to say good. It was decent because if I was in that situation, I just would have said, let Jesus take the wheel. They managed to escape all of the alligators, and they have a serious bonding moment because the girl, there's two girls, Beth and Haley. Their father and mother are divorced, and so that was a big thing that ate away at the both of them. Because Haley told the dad, it felt like you gave up, and all these other things, and the blame that comes with a child from a parents who get divorced young. And he was telling her, no, I never gave up on you guys or your mom. If things just weren't going to where they needed to be. They reconciled and understood each other, and they managed to be rescued by a helicopter with the skin of their teeth.
Yeah. That's basically how it goes with Jerry. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's just this movie is. I chose this movie. I just want to see how you guys reacted. I didn't know if you guys seen it or not.
I
just
saw
know
the
it's just
commercial
kinda
for
like-
it. I never watched it.
I seen it in theaters
Okay.
when
Same.
it came out, and I forgot it. And then I watched it again, and then I forgot it. And then I watched it again, and then I forgot it again. So I watched this movie 3 times, and I don't remember anything that happens in it.
How?
I find it so boring. I hate these. I don't care about the girl. I don't care about the dad. The weird fucking moment that they share in the middle of the 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 storm cellar or whatever, where the alligators are like surrounding them, and it's like, you're a fighter, and you're not the reason your mom and I got a divorce. It has
When did he
nothing to do
become
with you.
Batman?
It's you're a fighter. I'm your dad, and it's like so fucking
When did he come
stupid.
I
back?
can't take you seriously with this man.
I know, with the mask on too. It doesn't
keeping it.
work.
I'm
I'm
just saying,
keeping it.
it's like that whole that especially that scene, like where he's like, "You're my daughter, and you're a fighter, and you're not the reason why we got a divorce. It was me. I didn't pay enough attention to your mom, and like, who gives a shit? You're fucking surrounded by alligators. Shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up. Like, who would even have this conversation now? No one. Like, it's so stupid. I hate this movie. I don't like this movie. It's stupid. It's false advertising because it's like stating that Sam Raimi directed it, even though he didn't. He just produced it. He had nothing to do with it. He just slapped his name on it and got a fucking boatload of bucks, just by doing nothing. And so people are like, "Oh yeah, Sam Raimi. I'll watch this fucking movie." Oh, and then you watch it, and then you don't even fucking remember anything that happens in it because it's so boring.
And this is one reason. This is one reason why I picked it.
Because it sucks.
Because we haven't had a Josh rant in forever, and I needed one.
No. That's all I have to say about this movie. I'm done. Like, that was my review. That was it. I have nothing else to say about it. It's just fucking boring, and it sucks, and I hate these characters.
Okay, Josh, give me your rating so you can just
I give it a 4.
tune out.
This movie's a 4. This is a 4. The setting's kind of cool with like a hurricane going on, and the streets getting flooded. Florida, the alligators kind of come. Like, the alligators look kind of neat, but like, other than that, everything is fucking boring.
This
and I don't care.
motherfucker. Okay, hold on. Time out. This man said, I have seen it 3 times. I've not obtained
Jesus.
any information, but I will spew you everything though from the movie.
That's it.
Oh, God. Oh, my face hurts from laughing.
Oh, I need a drink. I'll have a drink.
Oh,
Curse you, you bastard.
oh, Jesus.
So yeah, that's my review.
right,
You guys go ahead. Jerry, it looks like you're drinking soap with that bottle.
No,
He's drinking
I gotta wash this down with some soap.
Oh my god! Oh, Jerry, you got anything good to say about this movie?
Matt, what do you think about this? You picked it. You subjected us to this. Do you like this?
Oh, I thought it was like I'm not gonna say I liked it. I just okay, so I'm just more like, to me, I just thought it was a neat concept of what they tried to go with.
Yeah, I'll give it
But
that.
at the same time, no, you already gave us your fucking rating. Get out of here.
I'm saying,
don't piggyback off of me.
I do like the concept. I do like the alligators flooding the streets. That's kind of cool.
The concept works because we did have hurricanes where like sharks and other like crocodiles, like alligators, flood into areas, but like over 20 of them showing up in the neighborhood, it just feels like that's a lot. But where they were is next to a swamp area, so it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it's just like the setting of the hurricane is like the highest rating hazard. It just feels like houses are getting demolished and all that stuff's happening. Yeah. It doesn't feel like that was the proper hurricane setting to go with. I would say if it was like a 2, maybe a 3, it would have been a better like setup because it's workable. It's not like 5. It's like you should not be there no more. Like your house is gone. Doesn't matter where it is. Like they got to the eye of the storm and all the houses were still stable. So like that was the one thing that was kind of annoying me. Like some of the scenarios, alligators, their temperament, like depending on like how they are, they kind of just go in their own path, like way. We just made them go off like, which is they're just man eaters. They're not always just going after fucking things. That's the one thing that kind of annoyed me with the tactic of the alligators. I get it, and the one in the basement, I understand that one a lot because they kind of made a territory for them because they had a nest area
Yeah.
over by the drain area. I get that one with the
Mhm.
battle in the basement. The ones floating around and attacking everything was just like I don't understand that temperament that they gave them. That doesn't feel like the right temperament other than like they haven't been eating for like days and like they're just going and they need something to eat that they're attacking. That's like a weird kind of way for it. But like I the first time I actually watched this movie, I did not catch that there's a nest. When I first saw it in
Yeah,
theaters,
I
I
had
did
to
not know there
rewind
was
it
a
because I missed
nest.
that myself. I was like, that
I
looks like
never
a nest,
understood
but I'm
there
not
was.
sure.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
and the
forgot
babies
everything.
were hatching from it. The babies were hatching out the eggs already. So that nest has been there since the dad was like prior to the dad selling the house off. Because you can't just have like, oh, this is happening. Oh, they just laid eggs. Oh, they're hatching. No, that nest has been there for a while, and this dad hasn't paid attention to his fucking house. It looks like for a while because of the divorce. So it just like became the alligator's house, and he kind of like how like he just said I wanted to go back, and he kind of fucked up not knowing what the hell is down in the basement now, and then the hurricane fucking came. And the one thing about the fucking house with the giant drainage pipe, that's not fucking realistic at all. That giant drainage pipe that looks like a sewer pipe.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that, like, I was watching, like, what even the first time I watched it, that was, like, the dumb like, no house has a connection to the swamp like this. Like,
Unless
there's
you
no
built the
way.
house like that.
Who the fuck builds a house like that? I wanna know. Like, it's not even, like, old it wasn't even, like, old-fashioned, like, it was, like, from, like, the 1800s with, like, the brick layering. The pipe that they went through was, like, a solid piece of concrete. So that's brand new shit. That's technology like, that's stuff we've been using for, like, a while now. So, that's not an old house, it's a newer house setup, and that's just a bad flaw of whoever the fucking built that house. And if you looked at the pipe, the guard that was attached to that pipe, it's like it got ripped off at some point by something.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna. Alligators are strong, but they're not gonna rip off a fucking whatever the fuck that plate was supposed to be, like that. Over like what is it? It felt like I don't know, like it didn't look that rusty to be able to be like plucked away. It looked like it still had enough metal on it still to keep it strong enough throughout the years. Probably and like it was weird. There's a lot of things that like alligator strengths. There's a part when they're upstairs in the bathroom where it kind of pissed me off because I'm not gonna lie, the alligator would have broke the fucking glass with his tail, or like when it
Yeah,
slammed his head into it, it
I'm
would have
like,
broke at
that's
least
unrealistic.
shattered some of the glass. It wasn't that realistic. Trapping it in there, kind of not realistic either, but it actually being in there would probably fuck it up, not knowing what to do at the moment until it can get out. But all that scenario, like a lot of the scenarios they went with was poor and not knowing of what alligators can do. It just felt like they just chose like this creature and said, it works, and we're going with fucking Florida because Florida's fucked. Like, it just
Yeah,
doesn't make a lot of sense with her.
it definitely was
I
weird because I'm like, she should be dead by now. And many times
yeah,
over, both of them should have died.
No, the father should have been dead since the first time, like after the 20 minutes probably of him meeting him.
They both
Because
should have died.
no, hands down, they should have both died. The dog should have been the lonely survivor, on top of the roof, by himself.
Riding an alligator
That nor
Yes.
that.
with a
But like
saddle.
the father had a broken fucking leg. The father had a broken leg. He had a chomp in his shoulder.
It looked infected
He was
too.
Yeah, it was chopped here. He got when she peeled away whatever that was on his like shoulder. I think it was probably his shirt. It kind of like came off all sticky. That's like bad signs automatically. And then later on, he gets his arm ripped off. So he ends up losing that. But I get it. He uses his fucking belt. But how many fucking belts does this man have on him?
Yeah.
I don't know, because his fucking leg was tied up with fucking belts and stuff.
He has
Well,
infinity
like,
belts for the
yeah, he just
infinite
had the
ass weapons
infinity.
he's given his son. He doesn't have.
Like, the things they made the alligators do were, to me, it was like neat and stuff. I think I enjoyed the gas station stuff. That was my favorite. Like
Oh,
my
without
part, I like the laugh. What?
Yeah, I agree with
without a
that.
doubt, the gas station hilarious.
Yeah, it was just so stupid, and annoying, and like the girl tried to like the only thing that pissed me off was the girl trying to yell to them in a hurricane with those winds happening. That's not gonna fucking happen properly. There's a lot of situations they didn't really think this out. This movie with the hurricane stuff. That's the one thing that gets me with this movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Jared, I've been
go
talking
right
for a
into
while.
piggybacking off of you. Some of the effects that they used in this were so damn god awful. Like when they wanted to
Yeah,
show the winds on like the palm trees, I'm like, dude, why is the tree not bending? These are
Yeah.
supposed to be 150-mile-an-hour winds. That tree is going to fold like a shirt. That's number one. Number two, the effects that they used on some of those crocs looked like it was from the Sci-Fi Channel. And I,
Yeah,
yeah. There's a
it's on the verge of being like Sharknado. Like it's like hurricane with alligators, but instead of a fucking Sharknado, it's a hurricane with alligators. It's stupid.
and
This
then
is like the caliber.
the alligators themselves were like circus alligators because they were well trained enough to have six of them attack one person. I'm like, that
Yeah.
doesn't happen. That's
No.
not natural. What is this?
they're picky whoever eats with them, really. It's like one
Yeah,
alligator
like
per
I
victim.
would like
It's like
two of
maybe
them.
a second one.
Two is the most, and that's it.
Like knowing alligators with them attacking a creature is like they like to submerge, drown it, do the death roll, and if they're not done with the prey, they bury it in the muck and have it sit there and they don't eat for a while. So this movie with these alligators is like how many actually are there? Because if we're going with like 20, there has to be 40 because they just keep eating whoever's out there
Yes,
because
yes.
each one should be satisfied with whatever they had in a way.
And the other thing that pissed
But
me off the most was when the girl got the gun and she was just slowly pulling the trigger. I'm like, the second I got the gun, I would have let two shots off in the water to scare it because a fucking
true.
alligator is not going to sit there and be shot.
No, but this one, the thing is with this one, with the arm thing, they miss an opportunity for the alligator to do a death roll on her arm there.
Yeah.
Because I'm rooting for the alligator now because at that moment when the alligator snapped on her fucking arm, it would have just said mine and just rolled in a way, or gave it a good thrashing. It wouldn't have been just like crump, 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 and just keep biting your fucking arm, letting it shoot them.
Like,
Uh,
what else? when the two
There's
cops started showing up, and the one
the
dude went to
super
the
two-
swing, trying to
I
be
would have went
the
to the
rookie
swing.
cop of the year, and he got eaten by 5 of them. I'm like, hold the hell on. So you telling me with your Floridian police training, they don't cover potential alligator ambushes? That was so fucking bogus. And then the people robbing the convenience store, who just has a boat ready? Like, okay, it's the hurricane's here. Let's go rob the convenience store.
It's
Like we
Florida.
planned. The
Jerry,
dude,
it's fucking Florida. It's Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Yeah,
the
that
dude
was
who was
crazy.
just
It's
in the
Florida, and
store
they're set
stealing
up on the
those cheap
swamp.
$6 sunglasses.
Yeah, like
No,
And then
that
he
was dumb.
went to the
Yeah.
cabinet and ate 2 uncooked hot dogs. I'm like, he should be dead from food poisoning.
yeah,
It's salmonella. I'm just,
yeah.
he
I would
pissed me off the most. Because of
almost
health reasons.
I almost wish instead of like this taking place in like the suburbs of Florida, this took place in like the back country of Florida, like the swamplands
Oh
with
my
the
God,
fucking
yes.
hicks and like
That was
with
literally on the outside.
no
like,
electricity, like barely any technology whatsoever. So they already have like limited resources. I think that would have been more interesting. And if like they kind of established like the alligator before the hurricane happened, like maybe the father's like, oh, this damn alligator's trying to eat my Bessie, my dog, Bessie, there's some turmoil prior to this hurricane happening, but it just kind of all like a shitstorm happens all at once, and then it's just like a shotgun to the face. It's like, all right, here it is, here's all this shit, here's a hurricane, here's alligators, it's just all there. There's
And
not wasn't really a setup.
yeah,
one
I'm not
thing
gonna lie. We have a
that
what?
just
Was it?
irritated me the most, I liked the thing they were trying to do with the dad and daughter and the reconnection. Because divorce with young kids is hard. It's hard on everybody because there's a lot of feelings, and there's a lot of questions you're gonna ask that you can't answer. And so I was happy they reconnected and they formed a bond. But Lord Jesus in heaven, why are they doing this during a Category 5 hurricane?
That's what I
I
mean.
understand life and death
Mhm.
situations do bring you significantly closer, and they make you marginally different with whoever you're involved with. But Jesus fucking Christ, girl, like Haley, could she not tell her dad was depressed? Like
No,
he was
because she
holding
hated him.
on to their home. He was holding on to the last thing where he felt the happiest. That's a clear sign of depression. And he was, he I guess was so deep into it, he wasn't considering how everybody else was feeling about things, and it just, spiraled onward. But I was like, oh my God, y'all, everybody in here needs to learn emotional learning.
The thing was like that they established in the beginning of the movie that they haven't been talking because of the father acting out and being a fucking asshole to her in a way and sorts that they weren't getting getting and either one of their points out together in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like that's when she should have like kind of looked into, dad, you're not acting the same than usual. Have you been doing this? Have you been doing this? What have you been like doing some like stuff that you shouldn't be doing, or like actually have a little sit down with him, see what's up with him, to see if like is just everything's okay with him in general. As kind of like a point, but they never did that. It looks like they just said fuck it, and it doesn't help that the older sister fucking moved away, and she just kind of just does her call-ins to see if everyone's alive at one point of the day, or like at one point of the
Mm-hmm.
month or something like that. So like I feel like the father kind of just like lost his wife, his his oldest daughter slash plus his other mini family he had, just moved farther away up the country. I forget where it is, like kind of like around New York-ish area, and his little daughter just went to college and shit's just everywhere. So like it's kind of that all could should just fucked him up. I was like, that's all probably like all the indicators of like him just falling where he is.
Another thing that it isn't, I can't confirm this. I have no medical knowledge. I don't claim to have medical knowledge, but if that dad survives all of this, he is going to be so fucked up on gangrene and other flesh eating viruses
Yeah.
that he's going to just have to be, medically pull the plug.
The, the, the dude's gonna become Dr. Connors. All right.
Yeah.
He's already missing the arm. He's already had like a whole bad experience. Like he's gonna just accidentally turn himself into the thing that he fucking hates, is the fucking lizard. The
Yeah, but
alligators.
see, if he did that, then at least it would be, sweet revenge because he would be the big alligator on campus. So he can hurt all the other ones.
True.
Exactly.
But
I just want to state, Matt, you almost called them crocodiles earlier, but to be fair, Florida is the only place in the whole world that alligators and crocodiles coexist on the same plains in the same area. So pretty cool.
I think that has to do with the original Florida man, Andrew Jackson from Hermitage, Tennessee. Because ever since he was down in Florida, everyone else has been inspired by his leftover seed of, bath salts.
Yeah.
And try to emulate him. And the alligators and crocs were like, you know what? We don't need to hurt anyone anymore.
Yeah, Andrew Jackson was an asshole.
Yes, he was.
There's so many points of this movie that I like, that the goofiness of the crocs just detrimented so much.
Like, take it away. I do enjoy there's scenes where they do underwater filming, and I liked all the underwater stuff. Like it looked nice. It was clear. You can see what's happening, and I liked how they filmed that stuff. But like there was like once they added the alligators into the whole thing, like we have so many like crocodile alligator movies out there. Well, mostly crocodile. We got Lake Placid and the sequels that we should not speak of for that.
Lake Placid, the final chapter was a cinematic masterpiece.
Shut up.
I only seen the first
one. Don't see the rest. It's like Jaws. Don't see the rest.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's definitely not on the same caliber.
It just becomes booty boot camp the rest of the movies. I think they actually bring back Betty White in the last one, and she gets killed.
Yeah, she does.
But there's,
rest in peace, Betty White. We still love you.
Yes, we do love you, Betty White. Rose forever. There's the movie Prime Evil, based off of a real crocodile. Is another decent.
Movie.
It's a decent example, but not the right. It's another wrong example of how they should have done it, because they established there's this crocodile that we're trying to capture. He's a man eater. They established the rules of the crocodile that they should have followed. But instead of like following the rules of that and establishing it, they just took whatever the fuck happened in that movie and put it in this movie, and took that giant, massive crocodile and split it into 20 mini alligators, because the what they did in that movie for Prime Evil is like over the top for that thing, because they made him like, I don't even know how big they fucking made him. They made him huge because he was able to jump high enough for I think it was maybe a 30-foot tower. He got up to like the 3/4 way. They kind of made him pretty fucking big, even in deep waters. But they could have, but like I'm saying, like they could have followed the suit of establishing these alligators, like that movie, and they could have like established like the things like did like Lake Placid, they kept things more mysterious, hidden more, because the crocodile came in at the points where nobody was expecting it to be, and then it showed up, and then once we established just crocodiles, then it became more of a thing because we're hunting it down more. Like they could have took a couple here and there grasps from different movies and got it, but it felt like they just took the wrong things if they did do that from those movies and just applied it the wrong way. Because definitely what they did with a lot of these alligator things remind me of the things they did and the freaking primeval crap, and that was not realistic as hell
Yeah.
for it.
What they did in this movie reminds me of the Jersey Shore Sharknado movie.
Yes.
And I hated that.
Shoot
It
me
does
now.
remind me of Sharknado a lot.
Shoot me
It made me
now.
want to both kill myself spiritually and physically. That movie
Oh, God.
robbed me of a part of myself that I'm ashamed I gave it. But, for this movie with Crawl, at least, there's a subplot going on to where you're like, okay, I'm going to detach from everything else and I'm going to focus on, an estranged father and daughter trying to reconnect in this horrific situation, talking about the Category 5 hurricane, not the alligators,
Mhm.
because that was, I think if they would have used, the alligators as maybe a plot device to symbolize, I don't fucking know. Just do something else with the alligators.
The thing was with the hurricane. Okay, they kind of to me what they could have
I
done was
tried
the
to redeem
hurricane's
it, but
coming
I
in.
couldn't.
I know it's hard to do at some points, but like you were going good with this one with the father. Start off with the father going down to the basement, like kind of like see him in a bad thing set up. I'm running off an idea you kind of came up with. He's kind of like down depressed. Maybe he's drinking like a beer or something, going down to the basement. They go find some old pictures or something. And as he stumbles down in the basement with his trying to find his stuff, accidentally stumbles upon the alligators. Alligators attack him for trespassing on their nest. There we go. And
That
then
would have made
we were cut to the sister. Like as the crocodile bites down, we cut to the daughter jumping into the fucking water and doing the swimming
Yeah.
event
yeah.
and all that junk. And then onwards with the storm stuff. Or if we didn't do that, we go with how we started off with. We do the Category 5 hurricane, and out of nowhere, it's out of nowhere, they're trying to get the father. Stuff's happening. The house is collapsing and stuff, and all that stuff. So that it's making them more difficult to get the father out because he probably got hit by a pipe or something that knocked him out. So the daughter's down there to go rescue him, but the hurricane gets worse. The house starts getting more decrepit and shit. As that's happening, something happens to break the part where you get the giant flood in. I don't know where the fuck that came from. That giant flood at the end that broke through the windows and shit.
Yeah.
That could have been
It's like a
the
dam
fucking
burst
icing
or
on
something.
yeah, that could have been the icing on the fucking cake where the alligators came from, and then that could have been earlier and had the alligators accidentally flood in, and then they would start noticing these alligators stumbling around. They'd be like, "Great, we're in a hurricane. Now we got fucking alligators we have to deal with." Something like that, and then it'd be such a better thing. We had an idea how to critique and maybe fix a fucking movie. We haven't got to that yet, and it feels like we just got to that idea now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to do Batman versus Superman. I remember that was one.
Yeah.
You know what?
So
Be prepared for a holiday episode where we fix and critique movies.
Oh man.
yeah.
Don't pick this
So
movie.
I was gonna choose this movie also for that.
This movie sucks.
So we got it. So we're already critiquing it.
I don't
and
want
trying to make it better.
I don't want to talk about this movie ever again. I don't want to think about this movie. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, they had a multiple. I'm not gonna lie. They had multiple routes they could have went with, and it feels like they just picked the easiest fucking route they could fucking think.
They
Like,
did.
get
They definitely
themselves
did.
done with.
They took the great value script. That's what
It's
it
like
is.
the first script.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first fucking script, and they said, "Fuck it, why not?" And then they took advantage of having Sam Raimi's being a producer.
That's it.
With
Yeah,
this.
that's how they made money. Is
They
people
took
thought
They took
Sam Raimi was
advantage.
attached to it. Yeah, which he had nothing to
They
do
took
with it. Really.
advantage of it. Yeah, they took advantage of it. If anything, I would have, if I was having issues with this movie, and so, and it looks like they did, because at some points, the actresses and actors kind of like fell off with their acting capabilities
Yeah, the
with
acting wasn't
certain
good.
things. They could have stumbled in and just said, "Hey, I understand you're producing, but can you come by the studio
Yeah.
and like maybe talk and hang out and maybe help coach us
God.
through certain things,
You-
Can
because
we just
we're kind of
remove
falling
this
off
film
here."
from history? I'm for that. Can
Hmm.
we ban a movie? Let's ban this one.
This was just a boring. It was just boring. It had nothing going for it. Like it made alligators boring. That's fucking hard to do. And this movie did it.
At least with the sci-fi alligator movies, there's some kind of crazy science experiment where
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
Where they're
this
kind of
makes a lot
fun.
sense.
Yeah, where they're more intellectual.
Robo
It's like,
Croc.
this is yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna go
done.
ahead and give my review and final thoughts for this, because
Go
this just
for
gives me such a migraine.
it.
Garbage. That's what it is. Garbage. So I definitely think there were bits of the movie that were redeeming, that they should have focused on more, like with the father and daughter's relationship and the divorce and reconnecting. I think that would have been a more positive thing to do with this movie, especially, with category 5 hurricanes or any type of, just life altering disaster. I think that would have been a much better film. I'm gonna give this thing a 5. I didn't hate it. I thought some of it was entertaining, but I think a 5 is probably as high as I can go.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Did you intentionally do this to throw us a
Um,
curveball from all the amazing picks?
Yes. Yes.
I was like, oh, I didn't know if you liked this or not, Matt. I couldn't tell.
No, I threw this as a curveball.
You knew I was getting ready to
It's-
do this. That's why, you fucking asshole.
The curveball is great. It feels good to have a curveball at one point. And for me, I'm on the same point with Jerry. There's a lot of spots where they could have done better with certain like ideas they had and redeeming points. I got more annoyed with the ways they made the alligators act. I didn't like that, and how they didn't properly. I don't think they studied how like hurricanes
They
actually
did no
work.
research on either hurricanes or alligators, so they failed on
Alligator.
both accounts.
It just feels like they just didn't at all. Thank you, Josh.
This
Uh,
script was made in the pits of Florida to
Yeah,
make it
it's
look
just like-
redeeming.
yeah, it's like whatever. Like it just feels like they just didn't do any of that stuff, and I kind of like you can kind of see it, and like Jerry kind of mentions like there's like the winds are blowing, the fucking trees should be bending back and like basically ripping. There's parts where they say like with hurricanes, what's it called? They have certain like with like certain like stuff like debris. You should be able to see the debris fly by and basically impale itself pretty deep in the fucking objects. So a lot of these things in this movie should have been flying more around than staying put. It basically they could have modeled off a Twister, but they didn't. And I'm gonna go with my rating as like Jerry. It's a 5. Not going to go any higher. Just gonna stay with 5.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for being honest about this curveball, because I've got like 3 more fire picks before I throw a curveball.
I feel like I'm not allowed to throw curveballs. That's not been, it's been a while.
I know it's been a while since I've done one, but I'm gonna intentionally throw one in just to see how you guys react to it.
Oh God, I can't wait.
So, for my picks on the next episode, we will be watching Alien, the first one, and I hope I'm saying this series right, but Alien Isolation, the digital series. It's like it was made by IGN because I was looking up, like alien shows, and it showed up, and I'm like, I've never heard of this, and I'm scared to see what's gonna happen.
Wait, is it your turn or my turn? I thought it was my turn. Now I'm
I thought it was
confused.
Josh's
Is
turn.
it? Oh, go ahead.
I thought it was
Yeah, you did the
Josh's turn.
mask. Yeah, you
Oh
did the
yeah,
mask.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's my fault. Ignore me, everyone.
Now I'm wondering, Alien.
Oh no, now I
Ignore
know the
me.
next one. Sorry. I was confused for a second. Okay.
I'm sorry, Josh.
No, that's all good.
This movie has me so up in arms.
I get it.
Oh my God.
All right, so all right. Just we'll save Jerry's episode for the next one. My picks for next episode is Dracula 1931 and
Bram Stoker's?
no, Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi's Dracula and Ed Wood. So it's going to be 2 movies.
Ed Wood.
Yes, Ed Wood.
Oh God.
1994.
Hey, how short is Dracula?
Like an hour and change.
Is it? Oh God.
Yeah, it's a short movie. But
It's so funny.
These are this is you're gonna understand why I picked both of them at the same time. This is
Oh, I already know.
Yeah.
seen. I understand what's up with this.
so
Jerry, you can have a ball with Ed Wood. You can have a ball with it.
yeah.
It's so funny
Wood-
you pick Dracula because I was gonna pick Bram Stoker's at some point in the future.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I never seen that one. I only seen the Bela Lugosi Dracula actually.
like I've heard of this one, so I'm glad you recommended
Yeah.
it. I was like, I want to watch this, but I don't have a reason to.
Yeah, no, that okay.
I'm not a huge fan of Dracula. I've seen some Dracula stuff here and there. I've seen the original like years ago, but like I don't remember the one you're talking about, Jerry, that much. And
Bram Stoker, his was I think 1964. It's a very, very like critically acclaimed and popular Dracula.
We're watching this
okay, I don't know. Yes. But I think the one that I like most recently remember is that stupid one that came out where he had the army of fucking bats and all that shit.
Oh yeah, I saw
that they did for him.
I think the confusion
was
was because we had SK Illustration on the podcast last time, so I think that's where the
Yes.
confusion was. So the order got a little combobulated. So make sure to watch Dracula 1931 and Ed Wood 1994. Another Johnny Depp and Tim Burton collaboration.
We don't got a permit.
Yeah. Exactly.
We don't got a permit. Run.
So make sure to
My
watch
picks
that
will
for
be for
next
the
episode.
one. My picks are coming
Yes.
later. This was just an early release.
Yes. So now we know.
Little
Now we have more
sneak
prep
peek.
time.
Okay. Yes, we do.
All right, close this out, Matt.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. And I'm hoping you guys are actually having a great Halloween before you start watching, or you're going to have a better Halloween after you're watching this episode. And I am Superman's pal, Matt. And
I am Jerry, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light and confusion.
I'm Josh, sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
And we're becoming super pals, one episode at a time.
one episode at a time.
Yeah.
Happy
we did it.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
See you guys.
Woo!
Happy Halloween.